Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss another topic in the same chapter, molecular basis of inheritance, and the topic name is genetic material is DNA. See, in our previous lecture we have already discussed about topics. The topic was biochemical characterization of genetic material and the experiment transforming principle which was conducted by Frederick Griffith. In that particular lecture, we saw that in order to prove genetic material to be DNA as such, the experiments were conducted and it was finally proved that DNA is a genetic material. But during those experiments, many people did not believe that DNA is a genetic material. So another experiment was done in order to prove that the genetic material is actually DNA. It was done by Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase. Experiment was done in 1952, which proved that DNA is the genetic material. Now let us see how they were able to prove that DNA is the genetic material. In their experiment, they took bacteriophages. You know that bacteriophages are kind of virus, they are kind of viruses which used to infect bacteria. So in their experiment they took bacteriophages. Now let us see how they started their experiment. Okay. Let us divide this in two. This is a bacteriophage consisting of head, neck and tail. Now they grew bacteriophages on a culture medium, one containing radioactive sulfur. Here the medium in which the bacteriophages were grown contained radioactive sulfur, and in the second place the bacteriophage were grown on a medium containing radioactive phosphorus. So these two mediums were different. Here radioactive sulfur was present, here phosphorus was also present, but it was not radioactive in the first case. In the second case, radioactive phosphorus was present in the medium. Even the sulfur was also present, but it was not made radioactive. So that is the difference. So they grew bacteriophages one on the medium called radioactive sulfur. Phosphorus was also present, but it was not made radioactive. In the second case, bacteriophages were grown on a medium containing radioactive phosphorus, though sulfur was also present, but it was not radioactive. So this is case number 1 and this is case number 2. Now you know that since the bacteriophages, they infect bacteria, so in a culture medium these bacteriophages were introduced in a colony, in a bacterial colony as such. So this was introduced where the bacterial colonies were present. So this is E. coli containing the nucleoid DNA in both the cases. So you are observing that the tails have been settled on the walls of the E. coli. Now they have radioactive sulfur, and radioactive sulfur S35 is an important component of protein, whereas phosphorus P32 radioactive is an important component of genetic material, DNA and RNA. So this is how the experiment started. They introduced the bacteriophages in the colony of the bacteria, and this is called as infection. This stage is called as infection. You know that in case of viruses, the whole protein coat along with the genetic material do not enter inside the cell. Only the genetic material enters inside the cell. So in this case also, the genetic material will enter inside the cell. This is the genetic material. Sorry, I will represent it with the yellow color. This is the genetic material which has entered inside the E. coli. Here also, this is the genetic material which has entered inside the E. coli. In both the cases. Now, the genetic material which has entered inside the E. coli will now get integrated with the nucleoid region of the E. coli in both the cases. Here also and there also. In both of these two cases, they will get integrated with the nucleoid of the E. coli as such. So, in the second case, this has already entered now. Here. Now, this is followed by mechanical shearing, which is called as blending. So here you will observe in this particular scenario that what will happen is now the E. coli gets separated with the bacteriophages because of the blending process. Blending में क्या होगा, E. coli जो है वायरस जो है E. coli से सेपरेट हो जाएगा, मतलब हट जाएगा. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ब्लेंडिंग. ब्लेंडिंग इसीलिए किया जाता है, मैकेनिकल ब्लेंडिंग भी कर सकते हैं, जिसकी वजह से जो E. coli के ऊपर जो वायरस सेटल्ड है वो अलग हो जाए, तो इसलिए परफॉर्म किया जाता है. अब देखिए, पहले वायरस के टेल इसके ऊपर सेटल था, अब जो हम दिखा रहे हैं कि वो क्या हो गया है, हट गया है, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ब्लेंडिंग. दिस इज फॉलोड बाय सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन. Now centrifugation is a technique which can separate heavy dense masses from less dense masses. So bacteria is actually having a high density as compared to viruses. So if centrifugation will be done in a test tube, you will observe that viruses will be present in the supernatant region. And E. coli will settle in the denser part of the test tube as such, a lower part of the test tube, because it is more denser as compared to the virus as such. So it will settle in the lower part of the test tube, this E. coli. Here also same thing will occur. In the test tube, the viruses will remain in the supernatant region, but the E. coli will settle in the lower part, or you can say the pellet, P-E-L-L-E-T, pellet region as such. Pellet region as such. C in both the cases. Now, with the help of X-ray film, it can be determined that the radioactivity which is emitted in the case first, it is emitted from the supernatant region, because here sulfur is present, radioactive sulfur is present in the supernatant region, and it is a part of viral coat, virus coat. And we know that the virus coat, bacteriophage virus coat, is made up of protein. But in the second case, the same X-ray film, in the same X-ray film we will observe that the radioactivity is being emitted from the pellet region, and here we have used radioactive phosphorus, which is an important component of DNA and not protein. Here the sulfur is important component of protein and not DNA. So here you will see that from the pellet region you can see radioactivity is being emitted, and here we have used radioactive phosphorus. The bacteriophage was grown in radioactive phosphorus. Here we have used radioactive sulfur. This experiments prove that it is the radioactive phosphorus which has entered inside the E. coli, and since phosphorus is an important component of DNA, that means E. coli has utilized the radioactive phosphorus in making its DNA as such, and since phosphorus is a part of DNA, therefore the DNA incorporates this phosphorus, and since DNA has entered inside the E. coli, inside the nucleoid region of the E. coli, therefore the radioactivity has been emitted from the lowermost region, since it contains radioactive phosphorus. And since DNA has entered inside the E. coli, therefore the radioactivity is being emitted from the lowermost, or you can say the pellet region where the E. coli is present, indicating that it is actually the DNA which has entered inside the E. coli region, since and hence DNA is a genetic material. अगर इसी एक्सपेरिमेंट में, जो एक्सपेरिमेंट हम लोग देख रहे हैं, सपोज प्रोटीन जेनेटिक मटेरियल होता, तो अगर प्रोटीन जेनेटिक मटेरियल होता तो वो ई कोलाई के अंदर एंटर किया होता और रेडियो एक्टिविटी यहां से एमिट हो रही होती, वो भी पैलेट रीजन से. लेकिन इस केस में, केस नंबर 1 में जो रेडियो एक्टिविटी एमिट हो रही है वो सुपरनेटेंट रीजन से एमिट हो रही है और लोअर यानी कि पैलेट रीजन से एमिट नहीं हो रही है. इससे ये प्रूव होता है कि प्रोटीन एक्चुअली बैक्टीरियोफेज से निकलने के बाद ई कोलाई के अंदर एंटर नहीं किया, रेडियो एक्टिव सल्फर एंटर नहीं किया, और रेडियो एक्टिव सल्फर या सल्फर एक्चुअली प्रोटीन का पार्ट होता है, और रेडियो एक्टिव सल्फर अगर यूज नहीं हुआ है, वो जेनेटिक मटेरियल नहीं है और इसी वजह से वो ई कोलाई के अंदर एंटर नहीं किया है, और ई कोलाई सेंट्रिफिकेशन के बाद नीचे आकर सेटल होता है पैलेट रीजन में, और वहाँ से किसी भी तरह की रेडियो एक्टिविटी एमिट नहीं हो रही है. और हमने यहाँ पे केस नंबर 1 में सल्फर को रेडियो एक्टिव बनाया था और वो नीचे से एमिट नहीं हो रहा है, यानी कि पैलेट रीजन से किसी भी तरह की रेडियो एक्टिविटी एमिट नहीं हो रही, बल्कि सुपरनेटेंट रीजन से एमिट हो रही है. और सुपरनेटेंट रीजन में वायरस प्रेजेंट है, प्रोटीन वायरस प्रेजेंट है, बैक्टीरिया प्रेजेंट नहीं है. इसका मतलब कि रेडियो एक्टिव सल्फर हैज बिकम अ पार्ट ऑफ वायरस कोट. It has not transferred inside the E. coli, which proves that protein is actually not a genetic material, but DNA is a genetic material. So this is the proof, and finally it was proved that DNA is the genetic material, not the protein. I hope you have understood this topic well. तीन चीज़ें हैं यहाँ पे, इन्फेक्शन, ब्लेंडिंग और सेंट्रीफ्यूगेशन. आपको ड्राइंग अच्छे से बनानी है, एक्सप्लेनिंग द फैक्ट्स एज वेल. नाउ लेट अस talk about properties of genetic material. First of all, let us talk about properties of genetic material. Properties of genetic material. There are many properties of genetic material. For example, it should be structurally stable. It should show Mendelian character of inheritance, that is, it should pass from one generation to the next generation. It should have slow mutation, which is required for evolution, and not fast mutation. So DNA, since it is highly stable, it has slow mutation as compared to RNA. Moreover, both DNA and as well as RNA can pass from one generation to the next generation. So both of them have the property of inheritance. Now DNA is highly stable as compared to RNA. So these are all the properties of genetic material. Certain other things we will be discussing in our next lecture, next topic. Thank you. Have a nice day.